This is the new Legend series by Volantex, and let's not forget the old Eachine P-51 created the legendary series of mini ready-to-fly warbirds that we have now. And there are probably at least 100 different ones that exist now, and I think we've probably tested at least half of them on our channel. Maybe more, probably more. And it's really cool to see them progress because everybody loves an airplane that you can get out of a box and throw it and fly it, and it flies perfectly. Companies are realizing that that method works. Not everybody wants to spend $800 on a radio, $300 on an airplane, $200 on a charger, and $300 more on batteries when you can buy something like this under $200 completely ready to fly. And what makes this the new Legend series by Volantex isn't just the cool scale looks, the good paint job, the scale pilot, or even the slightly larger wingspan, but it's the fact that we now have a brushless motor. And if you've been in the hobby for a while, you know how important that is to have a brushless motor versus brushed. Brushed motors tend to last for potentially hundreds of flights, where brushless motors can potentially last for thousands of flights, and that's a really big deal. We're also flying on a 2S LiPo with a JST plug, and that's nice because it's not proprietary. So in today's video, we're gonna test out this new Legend series by Volantex to see if it really is legendary. Let's go.
All right, Nate, launch with confidence. Launchfidence, let's go.
That was real smooth, wasn't it?
Yes, good job.
Trademark, okay. Launchfidence, TM.
We didn't come up with it, someone else did.
But I love it. Okay, brushless motor. It actually almost feels like it has too much power for its own good because I'm cruising at about 50% throttle. We will do a full throttle pass, don't worry, but I'm getting a feel for it. Now, one thing I did not mention in the intro to the video is that this has flight stabilization. Now, some of you probably picked up on that, maybe even assumed it, but if you've never seen our videos before or you're just new to all this, flight stabilization just means that anyone can fly this airplane, I promise. It keeps the airplane level. That wing stays level. When you take your hands off the controls, it snaps back. So I'm going to turn the plane to the left and I take my hands off the controller and boom, right back to level. So when in doubt, you almost would be better off to drop the controller. Don't actually do that because the sticks might move when they hit the ground, but just take your thumbs off the sticks if you panic. That's kind of a cool thing to have, to be able to fall back on. But there's room for progression. If you're not a fan of the flight stabilization, you can turn that off with the flip of a switch on the radio, and we'll be testing that in the video. But there's also a stunt button, and it should be programmed into the airplane with AI. Believe it or not, artificial intelligence in this P-51. No, I'm just kidding, because I'm not even sure if I think that true AI exists just yet. We'll see about that though in time. Wouldn't it be cool if these were just completely autonomous? Ready to fly, you don't even fly it, you just throw it in the air and watch it like you're at an air show. I don't know how cool that would be. Maybe if you had 10 of them, oh now that would be cool. If you could program them to dogfight each other and you're just out somewhere by yourself, that would be pretty cool to see. But we're gonna test that stunt button and see how it does. So the point is, it's flying extremely well in just normal stabilized mode. So let's push the stunt button and see what happens. There we go, you push it and you hold it. Okay, so you push and hold the button and then give it a direction and it will do a stunt button. Now, the best stunt plane we've ever seen does actually a little better than this because it throttles up on its own. But this one holds whatever throttle you leave it at to do its roll. Now let's see, with more throttle, will it do a loop? Yes, it will, look at that. That was really nice. And then straight vertical climb to letting off the throttle, that was all me, but it lets you do it in stabilized mode, so that was really cool. It gives us unlimited climb, even in stabilized mode at full throttle. And then how steep can we dive? That's full nose down with a bit of bank, so pretty steep if we want to. Let's do a full throttle pass. It likes to climb. It's quiet because it's brushless, very quiet, listen. What you're hearing is actually the prop just kind of flapping around in the wind a little bit, but the motor itself, I'll get a quiet flyby. You can't even hardly hear it. I'm sure you heard that radio call louder than, than the airplane. Okay, so the stunt button works amazingly well. Does it fly out of stabilized mode? Let's find out. So here's intermediate mode, which should just give us a little more bank, which gives us a lot more bank if I want to. We can turn on a dime, look at that. And we're actually going to turn it off on this pass. Is it flyable? Oh, it's a bit tail heavy. But there we go. We can roll it manually. Still a bit of a fight to keep it in the air. There's a nice manual loop. We can just keep the loops going because it is tail heavy. So let's see if I can bring it in a little lower. Even in manual mode, I'm ready to flip it back. Oh, it's very challenging to fly this in manual mode. Okay, so back into stabilized mode because 90% or more of these airplanes are perfect in stabilized mode but don't fly well out of stabilized mode at all. So if you're thinking there's a major flaw with this, think again, because as of right now, all of these warbirds that we've been testing and flying on the channel and enjoying fly this way. Perfect in stabilized mode and a lot of fun in this mode, which is very scale anyways, but then flies horribly out of stabilized mode. Now, having said that, there are some planes that fly extremely well out of stabilized mode, and we have a couple of those on the channel. So I'm going to encourage you guys to spend some time on our channel if you want to find the perfect mini warbird. But I love what Volantex is doing here because the bird itself is a little bit bigger. It's on a brushless motor, and I think that's where we need to be in the hobby. I'd like to see some twin engine warbirds, Volantex, not just more P-51s. I'd love to see a P-38 Lightning. Could you guys imagine that? Or maybe a B-17 bomber with 4 motors. I know I'd pay the $200 price tag, or maybe $250, to have this level of quality, double size of the airplane, and 4 motors, maybe add some lights. Oh, that'd be awesome. So if Volantex is actually listening, I know there's a market for the slightly bigger warbirds. Oh, I hear thunder rolling in, Abby. That's pretty cool.
I don't think that was thunder. I don't know what that was.
Well,
that was weird.
And we're getting attacked by our alien neighbors finally. I don't know, that was weird. I have no idea. Okay, awesome airplane. It does come with optional landing gear, but I want to show you guys one more key thing, and you definitely want to remember this before you come flying. Let's see if we can get a nice smooth landing first though, and then I will show you what I'm talking about. Let's just get a nice landing in the grass over here because we don't have landing gear on. Oh, that was perfect. Couldn't ask for a better grass landing. What a great flight. Honestly, I can't complain much at all because I think that exceeds the general expectation of performance on many warbirds that are ready to fly. And speaking of ready to fly, this one comes with an extra battery. So even though we got that really long flight time and still have juice in there, we have another flight battery that this one comes with, and fairly scale landing gear because they did try to add some wheel pans to the landing gear. So if you have those attached, it'll look pretty good. I love the fact too that this comes with a spare removable prop. It actually comes not on the airplane, just like that, when it gets shipped to you, and it has exactly what I'm holding here. There's another one of these in the box, so if that ever pops off and you lose it in a high tree crash or something like that, it's okay. You've got another in there. And that tells me that even the big expensive companies could easily throw in another prop and spinner if they wanted you to have a good experience, you know? I wish we saw that with more companies. Now guys, remember that this will be linked in the description box below, and if you order it through the link, you're doing a couple things. You're supporting our channel and our family at no extra cost to you. A little less money goes into the big corporate pocket, and it goes to help supporting us. Now that beep on the radio tells me that we have telemetry on this plane too, so if we flew this battery longer, we'd get a beep out of it letting us know that our flight battery was getting low, and I love that. Now, there's another reason to click that link, right? Not just this airplane, but tons of airplanes exist on the website. Maybe you want to shop around and buy something else. If you pick anything else up while you're there, it does help to support us. But we want to make sure you're getting the right airplane. So if you fell in love with the plane in this video, there's a ton of knockoffs out there sold on bad websites like Temu and a few other nasty sites like that. So we want to make sure you're getting the right airplane, because in the world of RC, even though it might look like the one we flew, trust me, it's going to have a whole different flight characteristic and it might not give you a good experience. We don't want you to waste your money and get the wrong thing. And the special important thing that I'm talking about that you need to remember before you come and fly this for the first time, of course, is AMA. That's the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Why would anybody fly anything more than a paper airplane without the AMA? At least learning what they recommend those of us that fly RCs do to keep not only you safe, but those around you safe, so all of us can continue to enjoy the hobby. They also fight the good fight for us. I've never seen a company take, you know, under $100 for the year to have your AMA insurance and your magazine subscription, and there's still enough money from that chunk left over to fight the good fight. Unfortunately, what I'm saying is there are some YouTubers out there promoting the hobby in a dangerous way, uploading those videos, and it's getting the wrong kind of attention from the FAA. And it gives a bad rap on those of us that fly the way we're supposed to, even at an airport where we have permission to be, because they see one bad video and it misrepresents the entire hobby. So those of us that stay educated in the subject and fly safely and kind of do what we're supposed to do, to just go out and have fun with our foam toys. I love saying that too, because that's what it is. It's a foam toy. But the FAA kind of views it as dangerous drones, and that's just because of a misrepresentation. So I'd like to encourage you guys to sign up for AMA. It helps the hobby in general. It helps us continue to have fun. There's not really anyone else going up to bat for us. And so anyway, I strongly encourage you to take some time, check them out, and just support the hobby in general. Now, speaking of supporting the hobby, Abby works hard almost every night talking to different companies to try to bring you guys coupon codes. We don't like putting something on our channel unless we think we can save you guys money for taking the time to watch our videos, and we are so thankful for that, and we really appreciate the support. So Abby should have a coupon code for this linked in the description box below too. And I want to say a massive thanks to God for blessing us with this beautiful, look at that, Abby, look how pretty that is. Awesome sunset, beautiful day. Jump in front of the camera and share this experience with you guys. I'm so thankful. And speaking of thanks, I'd like to say a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters, because we couldn't do what we do as often as we do it without your insanely awesome support. Now, if you love mini warbirds, I told you there are some that actually perform better than this one. We'll have that video popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.